T.R. Reid, The United States of Europe, The New Superpower and the End of American Supremacy. Dive into The United States of Europe by T.R. Reid, a compelling exploration of the remarkable transformation of the European Union and its increasing global influence. Delve into a world where Europe looks more like a unified nation, complete with a single currency and disappearing borders. Unearth how the US unwittingly played a significant role in creating a unified Europe, and learn how the new European superpower rivaling America's might in trade, wealth, and population. In this summary, we discuss the complex factors that divide Europe and the US along with the implications of this rivalry for future policy decisions.
The United States of Europe. Europe is rapidly becoming a unified nation with its own currency, flag, anthem, and national day of celebration. Winston Churchill's phrase, "United States of Europe," aptly describes this new reality. European unification was achieved through a democratic process that allowed people to express their wishes rather than through military force. The US played a significant role in making this unification possible by winning World War II, aiding in the establishment of democratic governments across Europe, providing military defense during the Cold War, and influencing European culture. However, despite Europe's deep ties to the US, many Europeans harbor feelings of disdain, fear, and hostility towards American culture and mores. The US has also been criticized by European regulators and populists for its perceived economic injustices and barbaric use of the death penalty. With the rise of the euro, Europe faces the formidable task of convincing citizens to accept its currency and adopt a shared identity. European and American divides. The cultural and economic differences between Europe and America create friction and power struggles in the global market. While Europe is known for its social programs and aversion to the death penalty, America's focus on religion and military power contrasts sharply with European values. The rise of the United States of Europe poses a threat to American dominance in international business battles. Ironically, European insistence on American free market ideals has led to friction, as seen in the case of GE's failed acquisition of Honeywell. European regulators have become powerful forces in US decision-making, with their regulations impacting everything from crops to software. Despite the endless web of European connections woven through corporate America, European regulations remain a source of division and enmity in the global market. The euro's rise. The adoption of the euro as a single currency across most European nations is one of the European Union's significant accomplishments. Despite some difficulties, the euro is now a major threat to the dominance of the US dollar, which is the world's reserve currency. The euro's success has major implications for the US economy and could prompt a need for American companies to adopt more disciplined debt management. Europe already has extensive economic influence in the US through its businesses, products, and competition, such as Airbus versus Boeing. Furthermore, Europe's Galileo satellite project undermines US dominance in outer space, and the country's closest allies, like Israel, have started to participate in it. The book also highlights how the Bush administration's divisive behavior caused tensions in US-Europe relations. As the EU grows in economic power, it poses a challenge to the US's global standing, which Americans must acknowledge and respond to accordingly. Europe's model versus America's. European social programs provide citizens with cradle-to-grave insulation against life's risks, but they rely heavily on the US for national defense. The high cost of health insurance in the US gives European companies a competitive edge over American manufacturers, thanks to more generous welfare states, healthcare, and vacation time. Europe may be labeled a military pygmy, but its soft power gives it enormous influence in the developing world and greater willingness to cooperate in international initiatives than the US. The Unification of Europe. The journey towards the unification of Europe was not an easy one, but it all started with the military aspirations of great dictators. After World War I, French Foreign Minister Aristide Briand proposed a moral union of Europe, but the Great Depression and the rise of Adolf Hitler aborted the plan. However, after World War II, Winston Churchill and cognac salesman Jean Monnet revived the dream. With the backing of the US and Britain, Monnet proposed a Franco-German authority that would prevent military exploitation of resources while allowing peaceful industry to proceed. This became the European Coal and Steel Community, which grew into the common market. The common market began to expand, with two philosophies competing to determine how the market would grow: broader expansion and deeper expansion. After the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, expansion and the pervasiveness of EU regulations continued, and countries such as Turkey have expressed interest in joining the European Union. Despite some friction among its members, the journey towards a united Europe continues. Europe, more than a trading area. Europe has achieved quite a bit towards unity, with borders becoming less politically divisive and Generation E thinking of themselves as a unit. Although there is still resistance towards accepting the idea of a single national government, Europe's unification has created a new power that is capable of providing peace and prosperity for all. The influence of the EU has even had an impact on US policy. While the US may be protective of its autonomy and reluctant to share power, European unification is creating a large and growing market, leading to great potential for the sale of US goods and European investment in the United States.
As we reach the end of this book's summary, we've uncovered Europe's journey toward unification and the powerful role it plays economically and politically in world affairs. The United States of Europe, by T.R. Reid, provides a comprehensive analysis of the transformative forces shaping Europe and the challenges it presents to the United States. By understanding the forces at play, readers are better equipped to appreciate the delicate geopolitical balance between the two superpowers and the monumental impact of European unification. With Europe's influence extending even further into American policy, it is essential to recognize both the opportunities and the competition brought by this ambitious union.